Welcome back, you gentle viewers. This is Boys and Ghouls film review. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson, and this is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi guys.
And tonight we'll be reviewing Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge.
There, it's a 1989 horror film. Now, it's not the best one, but it's worthwhile doing a review on it. It does have some redeeming qualities,
But it's really good.
It's not top of the pile. It's sort of a midway, you know.
I think it's pretty interesting. Yeah. A modern adaptation of an old story.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do the podcast, because it's taken the old Phantom of the Opera story and brought it into a modern concept. A little bit like Phantom of the Paradise. They did the same sort of thing. They brought it into a more contemporary environment.
If you haven't worked it out, guys, Phantom of the Paradise is another adaptation of Phantom of the Opera.
I just implied that.
I know.
It's Phantom of the Paradise.
But there are some people out there
who know how to go online and have a look at Phantom of the Paradise and see what it is.
I know that, Mike, but you never know. There are some people out there who
don't have a computer. Well, how are they listening to us?
Good point. But some people out there never know because they never watched it.
I know. Go and have a look. Actually, I think Phantom of the Paradise is a better movie than this one.
Yeah,
which we might review that later too.
Because I get a few comments here and there on from our last few listeners, and they told me that some of these movies we reviewed so far, they never heard of up until now, but now that they heard about it, they're going to go watch them.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. Well-known movies, new and older ones, because some people, a friend of mine who's sadly no longer with us, he never got into franchise movies. So he missed out on Star Wars, Alien, and all that sort of stuff. And there's probably other people out there who say, "Oh, I don't go that. I don't do that. I don't do something else." And so many movies slip under the radar, and these people miss some mighty fine product. So that's why we choose, like Alien, and other movies like that, which are popular, and less popular movies.
And there might be some people out there who may have heard of Phantom of the Opera, but they're not into the idea of a mutated guy who's wearing a mask and hiding in an opera house. Some people may like it, others may not.
See, the original movie was, I think it was actually made as a movie. The novel, was actually, I don't think it was actually written as a horror theme, more like a suspense thriller sort of drama sort of thing. And it was taken and made a silent film using Lon Chaney. Mm-hmm. And a couple of years later, they had one of Claude Rains in it. Then later on, they had one of Herbert Lom, my favourite one. That's a Hammer production one.
Yeah, we've already reviewed that one.
That's really good. I like that. To me, that's my favourite version of the old style.
Yes. So should we get into who directed and produced and whatever?
It's a very popular theme. But now people bring it into the modern world. Well, 21st century now.
Or whatever.
Anyway. So it's a good subject, taken from a book, and I keep saying all the best movies
and stories
are taken from a good book or a very good story before it became a screenplay. Anyway, that's my bet. Now, here we go. Okay, right, here we go. Produced by Thomas Fries, Robert Costa and Paul Little. Directed by Richard Friedman. The screenplay by Scott Sneed, I think that's the right pronunciation, Tony Michaelman and Robert King. Now, the story was by Scott Sneed, who was also the guy who wrote screenplay. So he wrote the story, and it was a good story, and it sort of morphed into a screenplay. And Frederick Ulrich assisted in the story as well. Now, budget, box office, got no idea. I think it went for a very, very short run and went straight to DVD because it wasn't very popular.
Do you think
That's my gut feeling.
Do you think it was on television or?
No. It says I think it says it was released, and a month or two later went to DVD. Oh. So it sounds to me like it hit the theatre, wasn't very popular, and then it went. Yeah, I'm not sure. It may have gone straight
Mike,
to DVD.
Before we started recording, we were discussing whether it was really that it's available. Was it available on Amazon? I think we were discussing that.
Now this is I usually do that at the end.
I know, but this seems to be a very important thing in case these viewers want to listen to it.
In this instance, On Amazon, I don't think it's available. I couldn't see any. Okay. On eBay, it's hard to get and damn expensive. However, you might find it on other sites, or you can get a fair quality version on YouTube.
Yeah,
So,
those are your alternatives,
But
guys.
I'll personally, I'd go to YouTube first if you can't find a streamer who might have it. Somebody who supplies movies.
Most of the movies I often find, especially the rare quality ones. I mean, not quality ones.
The
rare ones that are out there. I just go directly to YouTube in case I can't find them online.
My only problem with YouTube is the people who put them on don't care about the quality, and some of them are hard to watch. They're grainy or blurry, or they're just really bad. I mean, a little bit more quality would be nice on YouTube. Thank you.
Okay. Now let's get back to the cast.
Okay, getting moving right along, folks. The box office and budget, got no idea. Now, I won't go through everybody, but the main people are played by Derek Rydell, played Eric Matthews, alias the Phantom of the Mall. He was a young guy who got damaged in a fire, but that'll be covered when Sarah tells your story.
Yeah.
Kari Whitman plays Melody Austin, who's Eric's girlfriend. She plays an interesting part. It's not a big part, but an interesting part. Now, the naughty guy. Jonathan Goldsmith plays Harv Posner. He's the mall owner. He's a really nasty piece, but all will be revealed when Sarah gets into the tell of the story. Let's see, Rob Estes makes a appearance in here as Peter Baldwin, a reporter.
Is he related to Alec Baldwin?
I don't know. Never. It's an actor's name. It's a role. Yeah,
it's a character's name.
I know. I won't go through anybody else there mainly because I don't think they're worthwhile going through everybody.
What about?
Wait a moment. Now, there's a guy who plays a really nasty guy, like a henchman to the mall owner. Gregory Scott Cummins plays Christopher Volker, the nasty security guard come executioner. What a nasty guy. He's really bad. And Morgan Fairchild is very popular back in those days still, played Mayor Karen Wilton.
Yeah, I've seen her in a number of movies, including another horror movie that back in the 70s.
Yeah. She's been around a while. Yeah, Morgan. Anyway, I say
there's three more characters here.
I didn't want to go for okay, Dante Andre played a piano player.
No, not him. I was referring to
the other people.
Paulie.
Yeah, but they're only bit roles. They're not major roles.
Yes, they are. They play our three last main characters.
Okay, Paulie Shaw plays Buzz, a friend of Eric and Melody.
And
wait a minute.
Because they play the main role.
Kimber Seisons plays Susie, a friend of Eric and Melody. Tom Fridley plays Justin, Posner's son. And Dante Andre plays a piano playing guy who stalks females and tries to rape them. Okay.
I just mean that there were three more main characters
there. They weren't main characters.
Yes, they are, Mike. You weren't paying attention.
I was paying attention.
Yes, and you kept missing the famous characters.
Oh, they put the main ones. They were just putting the main ones in.
They were just at the bottom. Sadly enough,
I reorganised them actually in order of priority.
Well, they weren't arranged properly.
The piano guy didn't even get a name in the credits.
Anyway, moving on. So, anyway, I'll start the story off. Shut up.
Sorry.
So the story begins where Eric Matthews is actually in the school gym doing he's kind of an athlete, and he's very strong and very masculine.
He's a very all-round sports type guy. He does gymnastics and stuff, and he's really good.
And he has his girlfriend Melanie, and she's very supportive in him. And his friend Buzz and Susan are there. They're supporting him in his gymnastic stuff.
Yeah.
Later on, we watch Melanie and Eric.
It's Melody.
Melody, sorry.
Not Melanie.
I'm sorry. I know a friend named Melody.
Think of the song. La, la, la,
Shut up.
Melody.
You want me to hit you now?
No.
Okay.
Later. Yeah.
So anyway,
Please beat me. No.
So Eric and Melody head off to his house, and there's a sign there that indicates that there's going to be a mall built there soon. Hint, hint. And Eric finds a notice on his mum and dad's door that says, well, it doesn't say anything. It just says these guys, the real estate guys, are hassling his parents.
Yeah, they want them to sell. I think they're the last house in the area, right where they want to build the mall, and they're stopping the project and going forward.
I think that Eric's mum and dad, they probably don't want to sell because for sentimental reasons. My theory.
Or maybe the price wasn't right.
Yeah, because I don't know what the prices they would have given them. It could have been an unfair price. They won't been able to buy a new house anywhere in the area.
If the house is worth, say, $400,000, I'll give you $400,000 for your house. That's all it's worth. Where's the incentive to move? If I'll give your house is worth $400, but I'll give you $500 if you move. There's the incentive. I'd move.
Yeah, and then we flash forward, say, 1 year later, and the mall's built, and
You did mention the house being burnt down?
yeah, the house that Eric lived in with his parents had been burnt down,
Yeah.
and
While Eric and his folks in it.
and Melanie, she has she remembers the event. She was there, but no one believes her. Somehow the police ignored her fact that there was an arsonist in the area.
Yeah, she said she saw a guy hanging around, and they did. We think possibly that the mayor, who has an interest in the mall, squashed it a bit. Because I believe, I'm not quite sure. In America, I get the impression that the mayor has say over what the police do in the local area. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they buried the case as well as Eric, so to speak.
Technically, they said he's dead, and they put him to rest along with his family.
Yeah. Meanwhile, someone or something is stalking in the mall's air vents and stuff.
Yeah, he's using the air vents. You see all those movies where someone's crawling for an air vent. Really, those big metal tubes through the ceilings and whatever. Yeah, great idea. Yeah,
but they're quite bigger in this one. Like you could probably just not really crouch down, like or you'll crawl around in the air vent.
They are different sizes, but I think they're about 1 metre square.
Yes.
I think about that.
Yeah.
But they might be bigger ones. Depending on how much airflow I got to get through them.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about this scene is that this mysterious person, he takes the mannequin head off one of the mannequin bodies. That's really an interesting part to the story, so to speak. And he also takes a crossbow and some other stuff along with him. And while he's doing this, a security guard approaches him, and he comments about his face being, this is not Halloween, yada yada yada, in a nasty, sarcastic manner.
Nasty dude. Yeah.
And then the mysterious guy takes an arrow from the crossbow and stabs him in the neck.
Yeah, not very nice. However,
Then we watch him pull the body and discards it. And that's the last time we see that security guard.
well, we find him later on in a pile of other bodies later on, don't we? Yeah.
Next morning, I think, we watch Melanie applying for a job at a sort of cafe, I think.
Yeah, well, this new mall has only just opened. They're still hiring staff. So Melody and her friend Buggerlugs, Susie,
and her friend Buzz, who's
are all applying for jobs there.
in order to get money and probably go to college, yada yada yada, stuff like that.
As these nice, good, wholesome kids will do.
Yeah, her friend Susan, she got a job as a sales assistant, I think.
In a fashion area, was it?
Yeah, fashion.
Yeah, dresses and stuff, yeah.
And Buzz, he's working the yogurt stand.
Yeah, ice cream, yogurts, whatever. Yeah,
whatever.
Milkshakes, sodas,
Yeah, the mayor and the owner of the mall are just announcing, we opened the mall, hooray!
And the grand opening's on the 4th of July or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, although the store is practically open, and customers are walking in and out here and there.
Oh well, no. Well, you have people coming in, but the official opening.
I see.
The official opening.
Okay, the official.
Not necessarily. That can happen, say, a couple of days or a week later.
So it's on the 4th of July and everything, and the mayor is going around the stores saying that they're going to make some expansions on the
This is
mall.
wonderful for the community and all. He's saying all the right things.
Yeah, you never think about it.
But is there another reason why she's so happy about it? All will be revealed later.
Yes. So anyway, so Melanie is enjoying herself, and she meets up with a reporter or a photographer, reporter, whatever, and he knows her, and he says. Tells her about. I remember you. You were at this fire, and
About a year ago.
And you were acting hysterical and stuff. And she says, "Oh, you mean the fire that's where my boyfriend and his parents got killed? Yada yada yada."
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
And he says, "Where's the?" He remarks that this is exactly where the fire took place.
You're right where that building was.
And then as they're heading towards her locker, there's lockers obviously.
Yeah, lockers where it puts her clothes and stuff, or bag.
She then finds some orchids, rare ones.
Yeah, well, not rare ones, just orchids.
Well, not rare ones. I mean, they're expensive from what Mike said.
Orchids are expensive. Just a big bunch of orchids.
Yeah, and she kind of has a bit of a moment there because her boyfriend her ex-boyfriend used to give her orchids.
Yeah, because he was in touch with his feminine side.
Yeah, funny. Anyway, moving on. Then we get another scene where she's in her. She's marring this beautiful dress, purple one. This was really relevant in this movie.
But it's too expensive, and she wanted to save money for college.
Yeah, her friend is like saying, "Oh, that's so spontaneous. Go."
It's spontaneous, yes.
Yeah.
Go and buy it. You'll enjoy it. Well, I'm saving up for college.
And who knows when you're going to use it.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
You're going to be buried in.
Anyway, later after hours, I guess, she goes to her car, and as she's trying to get it started, she sees a box on the seat next to her.
The passenger seat. There's a nice big box.
A back. Yeah, and
might be something in it.
inside is the beautiful dress she was eyeing before.
Yeah, the right size too.
And when suddenly her car doesn't start, so she gets out to check what were you saying? What was wrong with it? You said something.
Oh no! Well, the way she was carrying, she would have been flooding it. But someone's probably taken the cable off the distributor, or take the rotor off. Or,
Anyway, so she gets out, and then someone attacks her.
Yeah.
And
we don't know a masked man.
But then someone on one of the car park's roofs shoots an arrow into his shoulder.
Yeah, like a little what do you call them?
Crossbow arrows.
A little crossbow, small one. Yeah, like two back users. Yeah. And he goes wacko, and this guy gets an arrow in his shoulder, and he runs away.
Yeah.
And then this girl, Buggerlugs, what's her name again?
Melanie.
Melody turns around, and her saviour is gone.
Yeah, and the mayor's there, who's there after hours too, and she tells her that she'll give her a lift home and surely report the whole incident, maybe.
Of course.
Maybe. Anyway, the mayor. Meanwhile, the owner has problems of his own. One of the security men's got badly killed, and his eyes are pocked out.
Yes, I wonder who did that.
And it says on his chest, there's a note on it saying "eye for an eye."
Yeah, that's
hint,
right.
hint.
It did.
And he then decides to call in someone we don't know.
Well, we don't. Someone we didn't know, but it comes out later on that he's been there all the time, behind the scenes.
Yeah, see, it's the same guy who set the fire on Eric's house.
Yeah, I mean, he actually phoned him up at this point to get rid of the body and get rid of the traces of anything happening there. Doesn't want any bad press, so he's a cleaner as well.
Yeah. So anyway, meanwhile, while this is happening, Melanie keeps getting bad dreams about her last moments with Eric. She's still grieving over him and all that stuff.
Sex scenes as well.
The scene is very pretty. It's like
romance,
romantic with candles and nice warm lighting.
Silk sheets, satin sheets, whatever.
Stuff like that. But every time she dreams it, she gets there was fire and it looks creepy. It starts off beautifully, and then it gets into a really creepy mode. Well, not creepy, just scary.
It does get creepier in the movie.
Yeah.
The faces start changing.
Ooh. Anyway, she starts getting closer to Peter, and Peter eventually hears about the attack and her savior, and he starts piecing it together bit by bit.
Oh, excuse me. Yes.
Of course, Buzz tries to talk him out of having, doing anything with her because...
Leave her alone. She's gone through enough. What a good boy.
Yeah. Yeah, he even shows him a bit of security, some stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, it had that CCTV there, and he snuck in there while the security guards were out doing a patrol or something.
Yeah. Yes, it was really interesting. It has even that special music. That's that special music that
Music.
See the special music where it hides a hidden message.
Oh yeah, that's right. He turns on. Oh yeah, it's music. You take the music out, and unbeknownst to the people listening to it, there was subliminal message in there about buying this and buying that, and that was a form of advertising they used to sneak into the films when you go to the theatre. You'd actually put a couple of frames here and there, not enough for your eyes to register, but your subconscious would pick up on it and say, "You are getting hungry, you're getting thirsty." People go running out to the
food court,
the food thing, the confectionery area, buy popcorn and drinks and ice creams and stuff, and that's how the more unscrupulous film guys made money at their theatres.
Yeah, and interesting thing about this music that was played in the scene, it's actually been used in an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants.
It's nothing sacred. Oh,
No.
Lord. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. So eventually, Peter does eventually encounter the man who was the arson, but now he's acting as one of the security men.
Yeah, but he's filling the role there, but so he can, I suppose, keep an eye on things.
Yeah,
possibly.
one gleaming feature about this guy is he's
earring.
got a silver earring in his
one
ear.
ear. His left ear, or right ear, or whatever it was.
I don't know.
It's very different.
Yes.
Like little,
I think Melanie described it as a religious symbol.
Yeah, but it looks like a plate, like a cartouche in Egypt, like it's sort of long and round.
Yeah.
But in one ear. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to the symbol myself. Melanie probably had a better idea of what it looked
Well,
like.
being a very good student at school, knew all these things.
Yes.
See, kiddies go to school, learn. So next time you're at the shopping mall and someone's chasing you, you can identify them.
Yeah, meanwhile, while this is happening, he takes a photo. It's not a really good photo because it's blurred.
A bit blurry.
He then gets chased by this very security guard throughout the mall until he eventually runs into the mirror and pretends to take her photo.
Well, he does take a photo, but he uses her as an excuse for the security guy doesn't monster him.
Yeah, exactly. He then gets it printed and shows it to Melanie later on. And, of course, it's very blurry and it's hard to identify this man, especially his earring.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about his ear?
Good point.
Yeah.
Anyway, and meanwhile, while this is happening, another murder takes place with the mall's owner's son, who's a total douchebag.
Oh, he's a wanker. He's terrible. He's pain in the neck, everything.
Yeah.
Walks over his father, does whatever he likes, annoys
Yeah.
everybody at the shopping complex. You know.
Yeah, and annoyed a lot of the shop owners.
Don't want him there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm amazed that the boss of the mall doesn't bother to get ban him from the mall.
Well, it's his dad. And his dad's got he's got the his son just walks all over him.
Practically.
I'm sorry, it's just wrong.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while he was skateboarding through the complex, and then a lasso gets.
It was after hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, after hours, and a lasso gets lodged around his throat, and he suddenly gets pulled up
Eric was the
escalator.
Yeah, Eric was standing there.
Yeah.
We saw Eric doing it.
Yeah, we watched it.
Yeah, he lassoed him, and the old West rodeo style. He got him really good too. And
he choked to death.
And he put the other end of the rope into the top of the escalator, and he got dragged down through the mechanisms there. So it just dragged this douchebag up the escalator and finally snapped his neck.
Yeah.
Or choked him, or both.
Anyway, that was an awesome kill.
Yay! It's not like the guy in Jurassic Park being eaten by a T-Rex. Everyone said, yay!
I think we've discussed that more than once. So anyway,
Whatever.
Melanie, they're in their car talking more about the guy and more about the moment she saw him back at Eric's house. And she tells him about the whole incident, how she and her boyfriend were in his room. They're about to do it, the dirty deed.
Did they? Ah.
But then they smell smoke, and Eric and Melanie they quickly try to climb out through the window.
Well, he helps her out the window, but the room's on fire by this time.
Yeah.
And he wants to get his mum and dad, but he can't. And before he has a chance to do anything else, part of the roof caves in on him, or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burying him and his family.
And she falls to the ground off the first level and knocks herself out.
And she sees him.
And
Eventually, the security guard gets wind of them in the parking lot, and he recognizes Melanie straight off.
Yeah.
Eventually,
Attractive girl.
yeah. Eventually, Peter and Melanie they get the better of him, and they start a sort of a car chase in the parking lot.
Yeah, and it goes on. Yeah, a typical car chase in the car park.
Yeah.
And smashing cars and whatever. But when they come out of the car park to another area, Eric jumps on the roof of the naughty guy's car, trying to stop him or to distract him and whatever. And it gives his girlfriend and the other guy, Peter, is it? A chance to get away.
Eventually, they arrive at the mayor's house and tell them what their findings. And she's a little still not believing their story so much.
However, she acted like she was partly interested. Well, if you keep me informed of what's going on,
Yeah. So later on, she the mall's owner is a little annoyed that about the behavior of the substitute security man, and he says that he didn't hire him to act ape during the mall when the mall was
What language are you speaking?
Well, he's acting. I mean, the guy is practically driving through a car park, knocking down customers and probably hurting people.
The security guard's out of control. I think that's what she's trying to say, folks.
Yes. Anyway, later the next day, he soon is in ordinary clothes, and he's in Melanie's work area.
Yeah, was it a work area or a cafe?
The cafe she's working in.
I thought it was
No,
a fashion area.
No, that's her friend Susan.
That's right, Susan, the fashion area. Sorry, my mistake. Carry on. Okay,
yeah. So, Melanie quickly goes, I guess, into the staff area to dial and phone Peter, tell him he's in the shopping mall.
And gets you followed to the telephone.
Yeah, the bad man. And he starts struggling with her. It looks like attempted rape on my part.
Well, way to go. No.
Anyway, she struggles. Eventually, Eric appears and he starts fighting him like he was like he knows jiu-jitsu or something.
Whatever, karate, whatever. But because in the beginning, that's what Eric was. He was an all-round sports guy. He knew a bit about martial arts, track and field. He was really fit. Yeah, work out. We see him working out there, stuff I couldn't and never have done when I was young. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. He then eventually gets this guy inside a garbage press, I think, and then chops his head off.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's a cardboard press, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, no, you put your cardboard out and pracks it down so it doesn't take up any space.
Yeah.
And this little thing comes down there over his head and neck area and knocks his head off.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. Eventually.
I wonder if we're going to recycle that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Eventually, Eric takes Melanie down to his lair down below in the sewer, I think.
So that's the part. I don't know whether it's in a room at the bottom, down the back of the basement area somewhere, or somewhere underneath the building, which could be part of an old sewer network or part of his old house basement. We don't know where he is. I got no freaking idea.
Yeah. Anyway, Melanie, of course, is passed out, and I don't know how long she wakes, but she eventually wakes up and sees him. He's not playing music, just like the real Phantom of the Opera.
He's working out.
He's working out. You know what they call them? Shoulder press or something.
Yeah, a shoulder press.
Yeah. Anyway, she approaches him, and he freaks out at first, but he eventually takes the mask off and allows him to see her face.
And she wasn't totally shocked because she obviously thought if it was Eric, he would have been a crispy critter anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And not to mention his voice. I think, Mike, you explained it to me.
I think his voice was a bit rough because obviously if you were in a burning building and a smoke and hot air all around, it would have damaged his vocal cords.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but that a bit of touch of realism there.
And it was a touching moment, and I do wish. He then goes on hysterically about how he's gonna blow up the mall complex, and they are gonna stay down there forever.
Yeah, in his lair. And she said, "Well, no, technically, she's moved on. She's got on for life. I mean,
yeah, but she still misses him.
She missed him. She still loved him, but she can't be a creature of the night." or
A creature of
a
darkness.
creature of darkness. So she wants to live above ground and have a normal life, and he wants to withdraw from society and be what's the word? Hermit,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Eventually.
Home, I have no home. I've been hunted, despised.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Meanwhile, Peter gets wind that what's happening with Melanie, and he heads down into the Phantom's lair. Eventually, the Phantom has a few tricks up his sleeve, just like in the original movie.
Just like Mandrake the Magician, right?
Yeah. He ends up nearly coming close to being killed by some snakes in a snake pit.
Yeah, he got some snakes from somewhere. That's another curious thing about the movie.
Oh, that reminds me.
Yeah.
There was a scene with the piano player, I should mention, the guy who tried to rape Melanie earlier.
Oh, you would have liked this one.
Yeah. He got a snake in the... I won't say where.
No, this naughty piano player guy took a break to go to the toilet because his arm was hurting because he had been shot by the arrow earlier, the previous day or whatever. And he went to the toilet to have a dump, whatever, and he's sitting on the throne there. And then Eric is in the plumbing on the other side of the wall and drops this, I think it looks like a cobra or something similar, a hooded snake of some description, and he puts it down the plumbing so it comes up inside the bowl. So he's sitting there, and then this big snake comes out from between his legs. I thought straight away, gee, he's got a big one. No, it's the snake.
Oh, Mike, don't say that.
And then obviously the guy got bitten by the snake, and well, there you go.
Moving on. So Mike asked me the other day where he got these snakes from. I think that he may have got them from from one of the pet shops on the mall.
I don't think a pet shop would have cobras in it. You
How
might have
do you
a
know?
python or something or other, a garter snake or something or other. But I can't imagine a pet store in a shopping mall having deadly cobras in it.
I don't know. We don't know that. We don't know what kind of snakes that may sell at the mall. I mean, especially back then.
Well, yeah, but still, cobras, yeah.
Anyway, moving back along,
Carry on.
Peter
Rattlesnake,
eventually arrives there, and Eric and Peter, they begin to fight a little bit.
Maybe. A big bit.
Eventually, Peter knocks out Eric, and then him and Melanie, they try to get out through a different area because...
Well, yeah, little channels and stuff and getting back up into the... They go up the air conditioning.
Yeah, meanwhile, their friends Buzz and Susan, they get the right idea to go through the air vents, and they get a little lost, but they eventually do find the
They marry up to each other.
Yeah.
It's only so far you can go.
Yeah, they eventually head into the foyer, I think,
Foyer.
where the full swing of 4th of July is swinging.
Yeah, and I say this place is going to get blown up because by this time they know that Eric's going to blow the place up.
Yeah, and
they try to warn everybody.
Yeah, they try to warn the mayor, and she pulls out a gun on them.
And she said, "Hey, I've got a financial interest in this place. I don't want you disrupting anything."
Yeah, they then head up to the mayor's to the mall's office. And she begins to say that she should not let this so and so to handle this sort of thing. She seems to be aware that of the whole thing.
Yes, she's aware of the house being burnt down, and she had money invested in this as well. She said, "Hey, if I make money out of this, I don't have to be the mayor here anymore." She didn't want to be the mayor there. It was just a job to her. It's just a career move.
Yeah. Eventually, Eric, who woke up, comes down one of the air vents and throws her headfirst out the window.
Yeah, so 3 or 4 floors up, not a bad swan
and
dive.
she landed down on a spiky thing.
Yeah, wasn't quite sure it was broken glass or some sort of reward or some figure with a triangular shard of glass or plastic or something sticking through. It went straight through. What a great aim. Good one, Eric.
Yeah, meanwhile, Eric knocked out Peter, of course, and he tries to get Melanie to climb out onto the... I don't know what they call that thing at the top of the
just the
complex.
roof supported. What do you call it? Not cantilevered. But they got... Don't worry, moving right along.
Yeah, they climb out on there, and Melly's trying to keep her distance from Eric because he's wacko. And meanwhile, Buzz and Susan, they're already gone to the security office and announced on the radio system that there's a bomb in the building.
And please leave the building.
Of course, the owner kept saying, it's all a stunt show,
stunt,
yada, 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 blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. But no one's believing them, and they're rushing for the front door or exit.
And then Susie and Buzz find this motorbike, a really good-looking one.
Awesome.
Yeah, looking great.
Yeah.
Ooh, that looks great. I wouldn't mind having one of those myself.
Me too. Anyway, Peter eventually revives, and he helps Melanie down from the roof there.
Yeah, but that roof support thing, that's
Yeah.
trusses. Yeah, trusses, that's big metal trusses. Yeah.
And as a final attempt of revenge for Eric, Eric jumps onto the banner that's at the top of there and swings down and kicks the
mall guy
into
Mr. Prosner, yeah.
into another store, and he yells at him saying, "Look what you did! Look at what you did!" And he shows him his face. And, and then the guy begs and says that...
I've got money. I'll give you some money and stuff.
I'll eat my words. And then Eric turns with a sort of a
he looks like
blowtorch.
That's a flamethrower.
A flamethrower, and says, "Eat this."
And he went, he set him on fire. What a nice,
and then
what a nice boy. He looked cold, you see.
Yeah, and then he hits his head on some gas. What they call those gas things? The ones that you use for barbecues?
A gas cylinder.
Gas cylinder, and they
bang.
And Eric ends up leaving the building completely burnt, and he ends up falling to his death.
He got incinerated, and he stumbled out the door and fell down over the balcony, and he died himself.
Quickly, Melanie and Peter jump onto the motorcycle that Buzz is riding, and they head out the front door, or whatever door.
And just in time, and then the bomb went off and destroyed the mall.
Yeah.
Wow.
The end.
I wanted to have a fire sale after that.
I don't know.
Anyway,
now that the fire department's there, everyone is giving their statements and yada
no
yada.
one believes everybody.
And Melanie and Peter have a romantic moment, and it's sad.
Kissy.
Yeah, and we kind of flash back to the mall, and we see Eric lying there
dead this time.
Yeah. It's
No, he didn't move. He didn't wiggle.
He didn't open his eyes like in those horror movies.
He didn't do a Jason Voorhees or a Michael Myers or anything.
I bet that's probably what they were thinking in the studio.
Is he going to move? Is he going to move?
Or his open eyes. It would have been cool if he opened his eyes. That was so cool.
Anyway.
The
end.
I do wish sometimes that when I was watching this movie, I felt sorry for Eric. He was more of a victim.
He was a victim who wanted to get revenge, and vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. Well, he stuffed up, but he didn't get his vengeance, did he?
He did get his revenge. He took his revenge on the owner, and he took his revenge on the mayor, who was responsible for this.
But he still didn't get a life out of it, did he?
No, he didn't.
It went bad.
Vengeance is never the answer. Anyway, vengeance is never the answer.
Now, you made a comment to me too. This shopping centre, this mall, was used in another movie.
Yeah, it was used in, let me see, it was in Back to the Future 2, Terminator 2, and Shopping Mall.
There you go. These people...
I was even thinking...
I won't go to that shop. There's too much thing going on there.
Yeah, I even remember Shopping Mall, and I did remember some spots around the mall there that look faintly familiar. Yeah. Now, but it's probably just my theory.
Having said that, the film was shot in Southern California at Sherman Oaks Galleria Promenade Mall, now called the Westfield Promenade, and Valencia Studios. That was an old warehouse converted for the film. And Alhambra, California was also part of the location shoots.
Yeah, there was also a high school place that was listed in the credits, and we watched a different version. We had a different version of the family opera that didn't include the bit where Eric's past.
Oh yeah, there's probably the full version had the front bit, but some of the versions have just taken that front bit off and just started the credits, which you lose 2 or 3 minutes at the beginning, 3 4 minutes, whatever. It sets the introduces the four teenagers to a certain degree, and in their capacity they were friends and stuff, and Eric was really fit, all round sportsman sort of stuff.
But it does explain where he learnt how to become so fit and stuff.
He would have been I'd say a top sports student at his school. He's so fit. Yeah.
If he was given the choice, I guess he would have been given an athlete scholarship or something.
Possibly, I don't know. It didn't come out in the movie. Anyway, moving right along. We can't say a lot about it. There wasn't heaps of special effects.
Yeah, and I can't find too much information behind the scenes either.
Yeah, I would say though, I'd say his makeup was pretty damn good.
I think so.
It looked pretty. I mean, what we saw of it, it didn't get him in every screen.
Yeah.
Every frame of the movie and stuff. But when you saw it, you look like. I mean, whoever did his makeup did a pretty good job.
Yeah, most of the time when I found this scene at the beginning, I never saw him in a clear light because most of the time all the other scenes were dark or hard to see.
And it's only a bit towards the end there that you saw him a couple of times.
Because you don't know what his face looked like till the end.
Yeah, a bit of latex goes a long way, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I didn't know whether he was attractive or good looking.
Oh, no, we saw him at the beginning of the movie, but he went in the flashbacks to bedroom scenes and stuff. Yeah, he wasn't a bad looking guy, but the makeup, the latex and stuff, and the skull cap there to make him look like he's got no hair on the side of his head, and it was well done. I mean, it was believable.
I did kind of feel sorry for Eric a lot in this movie.
Yep.
I mean, being a victim.
He was a victim who went out to get vengeance and ended up dying as well. But he did get he got some of the people who are responsible for putting him where he was, but he died in the process and. Yeah, and it wasn't really worth it for him. He died doing it. So
it's just like what you said, Mike, in the past that money cannot ever bring his family back to life.
No, that rich guy who built the mall. I mean, he said, "I'll give you all this money." But you burnt down my house. You killed my parents in the fire. It almost killed me as well. And I'm supposed to say, "Oh, great, give me a couple of $100,000. I'll be really happy."
Yeah.
Shouldn't think so. No.
Yeah, some people who lost loved ones who end up suing someone because they were responsible for it.
And that's what bugs me. A lot of people. I'm really upset, but if you give me a lot of money, I might feel better. No. That's. Can I say bullshit? No,
I guess it would.
I just said bullshit. No.
But it does seem annoying that people.
It's a money grab. Yeah.
People put money ahead of family.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. Anyway. Move along.
All right, moving on.
Reception. Every review I have seen says it's a crap movie.
Oh, brother.
No, and I can understand where they're coming from. No, you got to look at it. It's a good story, don't get me wrong, okay? But what they fail to realise, if you're going to do a slasher-type movie or something of a guy like that, there should have been more violence in it and more graphic...
elements?
The way he killed people should have been a little more intense and stuff. It was too soft.
Yeah, I guess.
And that's where they graded it down.
So
I just said, no, I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to read through it. They said pretty much the same thing. It was lame because they didn't go the full hog. The thing that you need a demented killer who's going to kill them in really imaginative ways and pretty graphic. And they didn't do that in this movie. You see, it's like Goldilocks and Three Bears. It's like, oh, nice story, and the little girl got away, and everyone lived happily ever after, and well, okay, he got his vengeance and died, but there's no slasher element in it. There's no that action horror. It was not in there.
It was just,
and that's why the people didn't like it.
It is interesting, guys, that there is a bit of a teeny tiny minuscule of nudity in it for all you guys out there.
Not enough.
There was a scene in the sort of the women's dressing room that we questioned.
No, that one of the security guards, the pervert, was actually watching the girls in the dressing rooms. I think it was probably staff changing rooms to the girls, and he was watching them getting changed in the uniforms and whatever. Now, I'll say to Sarah, I don't know what it was like.
Actually, I don't think it is the women's dressing room. I think that it was the actual... I think that even Melanie was there, and she didn't exactly have she was just there shopping with her friend.
Well, okay, that must have been... There wasn't an awful lot of people in there taking clothes and putting them on and off, so I don't know. So I thought it was where they get the uniforms ready, so they're ready for the next day. Don't know. Didn't say. However, there's a lot of people, a lot of females getting changed into different clothes.
Yeah,
now, can I finish?
Okay, go on.
Okay, now, the problem is, CCTV, nowadays, especially in Australia, one of the places they don't have it is in the changing area. They might have it in the vestibule just outside the changing areas, but not actually where the people are disrobing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the rules were back in 1989 in America, but as far as I'm aware, in Australia, we've never been able to do that.
Another thing I've noticed about the CCTV, they were blue filtered, right?
Not always.
Well, and
No. Sometimes they can be filtered, or they could be monochrome. They could be colour. I don't know. Back in those days, it would have been monochrome.
I know. I just meant that in that scene, it was blue filtered in that scene. But then we flashed. There was a moment where the Phantom is in his room and he's watching CCTV footage of Melanie, and the footage is in colour.
Yeah, but he stole cameras from the camera shop.
Probably.
It wasn't CCTV necessarily.
Yeah.
It was just ordinary video
Yeah,
cameras.
the only problem with the video footage, guys, is that it looks too. I mean, looks like she was shooting like he was in the same room with her.
Almost, yeah. It looked like it sounded like there's
Like there was a cameraman behind her when she did some of the where she was walking.
Yeah, and that
shots.
sort of stuff. Yeah, like someone had a shoulder cam on or something. Yeah, that sort of shouldering on.
Yeah, most CCTV guys, they would just have them in the corners of the room.
And you use a toggle switch to zoom in and just pivot the angle of the camera and stuff. But no, not like that. No, they did make a little mistake of that bit. It looked like a follow cam instead of a CCTV.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense why.
A little thing, and actually another point. The reporter guy and Melody went and dug up the grave.
Oh yeah, there's this scene I forgot.
They went to the graveyard to find whether Eric's body was actually in the grave. They opened it up, and lo and behold,
no grave. No body.
No body. Oh, he thought he's a vampire. No. But the thing is, if everything was above board and he was not found in the rubble, they would not have buried an empty coffin because Eric never made it to the morgue. So it wasn't. There's no explanation in the movie saying why there was a casket in the ground, unless the mayor was instrumental in making out that he was dead and telling that we want this whole family put to rest and make it look nice. You know, if a family that's buried together stays together, who knows?
I don't know. Who knows?
There's no explanation why there was like an empty coffin buried.
I don't know. It is a bit.
It wasn't even a weighted coffin with books and stuff in it.
Yeah, it's a 6/6 thing, guys.
Yeah, we just don't know why. So that was a thing that gets me as well. This is the things that take away from a movie, and it's wrong. It just doesn't make sense, and that's why I'm not going to give a good grading later on. Ha ha ha.
Well, I do think that it was a bit weird, and it's like old time filming where you see someone, you think that's dead, and then you exhume their coffin and you find him gone. I mean, it's quite different from the old movies, like with Vincent Price, and you never question it. But
no, yeah, but it's different. No, you look, let's get one we've actually reviewed. Let's take Psycho. Mrs. Bates was dead. She went to the morgue. They put her in a coffin, and he said, I don't want my mum to go in the cold ground. So he stole the body and put some books and stuff in it to weight the coffin, and everyone thought there was a body in it.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought, too.
And in the Vincent Price movies, Roger Corman, you remember him? They did the same thing. Someone was died, and they actually took the body out of the coffin before the coffin went into the ground or went into the crypt. But in this case, Eric wasn't even dead.
Yeah, but I'm with you on what you said before about the mayor that's trying to make it look like the whole family died.
Yeah.
Instead of just one or...
One went missing. Oh, don't worry about it. Bung him in the ground too. We paid for the burial. Aren't we really good? Or something. Yeah, that didn't even come out either. So yeah. A couple of loose ends in the movie. Yeah.
But again, I'm not going to pick it to death.
I am. I'm not a troll, but when you're going to make a movie, make it properly. And even I have to agree with the critics this time. There wasn't many of them. Even Rotten Tomatoes didn't get in on it.
Of course not. I never heard of it.
So Metacritic's that mentioned.
I just think it's while it may have made a few mistakes along the way, I did like the fact it took place in a modern day setting.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. But the point is that you still got to tell a good story. You still got to be credible. Now, I mean, look, the filming was good. The acting wasn't too bad. All that was good, but you still got to tell a good story and still get a good end result. And I don't think they achieved the good end result with the action and the horror.
Yes.
And it's supposed to be a horror movie.
Okay. So, anyway, moving right along. So, should we rate this movie?
Yes, I'm going to give it 8. I normally give it higher, but there's a few problems with it, so I'm only going to give it 8, and that's lucky you get 8.
I like to give it 9.5.
Because he thinks Eric's cute, maybe.
It's not just that. I mean, I like the fact it's a modern adaptation of it.
No,
and even the names are modern a little, slightly. And I don't know what parent would name their son Buzz.
Buzz is a nickname.
Yeah, probably. Like Benjamin.
His name could be something totally different, but Buzz is a nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like Buzz Aldrin, he was, I think Buzz Aldrin was in the first rocket that went to the moon landing.
Yeah, and I do like Melody's name. It's a pretty name.
Yeah, not a common name, but it's pretty,
Yeah, and while most of you guys are probably wondering, why couldn't they just call her Christine like they...
Yeah, Christina, like in the original book.
Or, I can't, I understand why they would not call Peter Raoul, because no respected adult would ever call their kid in America Raoul.
Who said the new Addams Family movies had Raoul Julia playing the role of Gomez Adams. He was there. His name's Raoul.
Well, he's in Europe.
Raoul Julia, yeah.
Anyway, that's a little bit different because this is a modern version, and I guess modern names must fit.
They and Eric.
Eric, on the other hand, that originally the Eric in France is spelt with a K, and this one is a C, making it a little bit of an American version of it, which kind of fits.
That's okay. Anyway, I've got nothing more to say.
Me neither.
See, I'm exhausted.
I know
from
it's
talking
an awesome
already.
movie, and
it's a good movie, but it's got some lacking points in it. Now, getting on to availability and stuff.
Yeah.
Amazon, I cannot find a copy of it. eBay, hard to get, and what's available is expensive. You got old VHS, you got laser discs, and you might have something else in there, and everybody wants an arm and a leg for it.
Right.
So I suggest if you can't stream it from somewhere or find it in a second-hand shop or whatever, you get it for a retail outlet somewhere or other. It is on YouTube, but there's a longer version and a shorter version. The longer version has the intro where Eric's working out in the gym, and that actually, I don't think it's as clear a copy as the slightly shorter one. So it's up to you which one you do. But yet the YouTube is probably my first option for this one. I wouldn't normally say that.
Yeah. As I often say, guys, when needs must, you must let the devil drive.
I'll be the first one to say, don't download and that sort of stuff. Yeah, because obviously if you download everything, no one makes any money and they can't make new movies.
But anyway, usually, well, the first thing comes to mind when I think about this movie, if you don't have any option, it's always go for this
then go for your torrents and your YouTube stuff. But the best quality is going to be hopefully on a DVD or a Prime download or something or other.
Yeah. I just get annoyed that even if it's a not a well-received movie, it should be given at least it be on DVD for audiences to watch.
Well, it was probably back in those. It was on VHS, not on DVD. But
I just meant now.
Yeah, but no one's bothered because it's a crappy movie.
It's not a crappy movie. Don't listen, guys. Mike is not God. The audience.
I know him. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I like you guys to be the one to decide whether it's a good movie or not. Do not listen to Mike.
But YouTube, you can get it at the moment. Still, it's available. So if you hear this, go get it now before it disappears. Okay? Right.
Yeah, so I definitely advise, guys, watch it on YouTube and set your own opinions for it.
Not mine, yours.
Exactly.
But it's crappy.
Mike, one more word out of you and I'll break your teeth.
Anyway, I'm finished. You finished?
Yes. Anyway, so thanks for listening to this podcast, guys. We'll see you guys for the next one. This is Sarah Stephenson.
And Michael. It's been a pleasure talking with you, Sarah.
And we'll see you guys for the next one. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.